Welcome to another edition of Hey Bobby, brought to you by NECA-IBEW on 93.5, 1590 WAKR.net, our Facebook page, YouTube channel, Vice President with the Cleveland Indians, Bobby DiBiasio, kind enough to join us throughout the baseball season. And Monday, I imagine, where I wanted to start, Bobby, probably emotional there at the stadium. One, it's the end of a season, so that's always partly emotional, the home part end of the home season, because they're still on the road this week. But also, it's the end of the Cleveland Indians at Progressive Field, because we become the Guardians next spring. Talk about yesterday for you with your long connection with our team in Cleveland.
You're right, Ray. There's always a sense of melancholy when the home season ends. You just won't be able to see familiar faces. Certainly the ushers and all the people that you work with for 6 months, and the players themselves. So there's always a sadness, again, a sense of melancholy when a baseball season, a home season, comes to a close. It's been with you every day for 6-7 months, and all of a sudden it abruptly stops. Something you get used to being a baseball fan, but it still has that sense of melancholy. And you're right, yesterday added a whole different level of melancholy. Those of us who grew up just with the Indians as part of our DNA, change isn't easy. We know it's confusing. We know it can be misunderstood. It's complicated. But I will tell you, if baseball has taught us anything, it's to move forward, to keep your eyes moving forward as we have a game the next day. And while everybody, it was awesome, I thought everybody showing the sense of nostalgia in their heart, and what baseball means to them in this city. People I chatted with, they just wanted to give the Indians the right send-off, and they'll be back March 31st when we open up in 2022 as the Guardians, because they love Cleveland baseball, because that's the most important aspect of it all.
With us as Vice President of the Cleveland Indians, Bobby DiBiasio, as we have another edition of Hey Bobby. Bobby, let's look at this 2021 season. I'm going to throw a couple of questions out there. You answer them as long or as short as you want. But I guess if you had to term this season in maybe a word or two, pick out the word or two and then explain it for me.
Well, first, for me, it's frustrating.
Great word.
Yeah, simply because, we played the White Sox head to head all year. We ended up 9-10 against them in the 19 games we played, but we played them head to head and could match up with them as a baseball team. They beat us in the standings by 11, I think it is right now. And I just wonder how much of that 11-game lead that they have, we could have bit into if our starting rotation would have been healthy from day one. That we didn't have a derailment of an entire starting rotation going down, even with the inconsistencies of our offense. I just wonder where we would have sat here in late September. This is the first time in 8 years that we aren't going down to the last 4 or 5 games of the year wondering if we're in the postseason or not. We've been in the postseason 5 times in the previous 8 years, and the 3 years we didn't make it, it went right down to the wire. So I just frustrating with the injuries to our pitching staff. Then I think of the next word is development. We saw our starting rotation have to develop because of those injuries. And so now we put ourselves back in a position where Our starting rotation is absolutely the strength of this baseball team again, once again, as it has been for about a decade. Puts us right in the hunt for a divisional title next year. You know, Beebs comes back on Friday night and throws 3 perfect innings, 9 up, 9 down. You know, and Plesac and Aaron Savale to go with Cal Quantrill and Tristan McKenzie, Eli Manning, Logan Allen. There's a number of others going to be fighting in spring training from our AAA squad. So we're going to be 6 to 8 deep starting rotation wise. And then we found a closer who might be rookie of the year in Emmanuel Clase. So there was development at the back end of the bullpen. And then the other word would be inconsistent. And that's when you talk about our offense. Our offense, you know, we can score 12 runs. We can score 11 runs back to back against the Yankees or in a pennant race or in a wild card race. And then the Kansas City Royals come to town, and in 2 games we score like 3-4 runs. Just such an odd makeup of this baseball team that offensively that'll be one of the key elements to our off-season transition as we move to construct a baseball team for 2022.
VP with the Cleveland Indians, Bobby DiBiasio with Hey Bobby. To Bobby's point, with the starting rotation, I think stay healthy in place. Boy, we're good to go with the next generation. If the offense is more, and he used that word consistent, 64 and I think 13 or something like that when the team scores 4 runs or more. So
right.
You get the consistency with the offense and you get that rotation healthy, you can turn this thing around very quickly in 2022. Bobby, how about MVP biggest surprises for you for the baseball team of 2021?
Well, Cal Quantrill, I think, might have been up at the top. Emmanuel Clase is right up there. You know, Emmanuel had the ability, the strength, the power to be dominating. You just didn't know if he's going to settle in and be as consistent that you need out of a closer, and because you just never know how someone's going to mentally react to that role. It might be, I think, the hardest job in all of sports to get the final 3 outs of a ball game. Your team has just battled for 2-3 hours to get yourself into a lead, and in one pitch you can, throw it all away and have to sleep on that and walk into that clubhouse afterwards and then go sleep on it and come back the next day with that incredible sense of confidence that you need to be in that role. So to do that in his first full year at the back end of the bullpen is pretty remarkable. And then I think one of the best surprises is Ahmed Rosario. Just love the way he plays the game of baseball, runs the bases aggressively, attack, just his whole demeanor out on the baseball field, just an aggressiveness, and you can tell there's a lot of fun going on inside him as he plays the game of baseball. But I think Cal Quantrill, Tristan McKenzie, and then you have to throw Eli Morgan into that group as well. The 3 of them coming up and doing what they did. But Emmanuel, for me, might be the most important guy on your baseball team, getting those last 3 outs, and he certainly stepped up.
How about the ownership? What really I loved this year was the ownership of Jose Ramirez, basically taking this and saying, okay, some of those other guys are gone now. I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to steal. I'm going to hit. I'm going to lead this baseball team. I thought the leadership role, you and I talked about this back in March. Who's going to be that guy? Who's going to step up in the leadership role? Bobby, I think he did. I think he set a good example.
Yeah, he's always been a leader on this baseball team. For me, not to mention him, obviously means we just almost take it for granted that he's going to be an MVP caliber player. And he is again this year. He has to be in the conversation. I know Shohei Ohtani the conversation between him and Vladdy, that Ohtani didn't play any defense this year. So Vladdy was out there, the young man was out there, playing defense all the time. But instead of playing defense, Shohei pitched. So, it's a really interesting discussion. It's what's so awesome about the game of baseball and what Shohei Ohtani has done this year for the MVP race in the American League. And Jose has to be right in that discussion. I mean, he's going to be the first guy once he gets, past the 100 RBI mark and does the things that he's done with the stolen bases and the home runs and the RBIs and the doubles. He's in a class all by himself. And he 2 more years under contract. So people were wondering how out there, you were like, well, how long is he an Indian? Well, he's secured for, 2022, 2023. And, as we move forward, you never know what will happen with that scenario. But he is, without question, the leader of this baseball team.
And so clutch, Bobby, sometimes on paper, you look at those numbers like you were saying, but also some things that aren't registered. He is clutch. I can't imagine so many times this year. Okay, we need a clutch, and bang, he hits a double, or bang, he hits a home run. He rises to the occasion when we need him the most.
On top of the fact, Ray, they weren't pitching to him.
Yeah.
Why would you pitch to him? Franmil gets too inconsistent going after that low breaking ball away, and teams sat there and said, well, we're going to make Franmil have to adjust his approach because he has a soft spot. So for what Jose accomplished this year in a season in which teams tried to pitch away from him, really spoke to the fact of how awesome a baseball player he is. I mean, he's just an absolutely terrific baseball player. The passion he comes with every day. DeMarlo Hale talked about it, and I thought it was pretty cool because this was DeMarlo Hale's first opportunity to see a guy like Jose Ramirez up close every day. He'd watch him from afar from a visiting team's dugout and marvel at his skill, but he didn't see his work ethic and his leadership capabilities until he was in an Indians uniform. And DeMarlo has commented all year long about what a remarkable work ethic, what a remarkable leader, what an incredible passionate player, and one that rises to the occasion. And, it's always cool to hear somebody new, who comes in and have their eyes opened a little bit to what we already knew, but it gets reinforced, and that's pretty cool.
Vice President with the Cleveland Indians, Bobby DiBiasio. Hey, Bobby, brought to you by NECA-IBEW. My friend, thanks for making time again. Great edition of Hey, Bobby. We'll talk to you soon.
You got it, Ray. Take care, my friend.